hourly pricing, packages, project-based, retainers. There are many ways to structure pricing for your virtual assistant business. So how do you determine which one is right for you? In today's episode of the Support Squad podcast, I'm breaking down pricing from top to bottom so that you can set your business up for sustainable success. Let's get started.
You're listening to the Support Squad podcast, where virtual assistants come together to share their best business tools and tips. Virtual assistant for life coaches Sharon Nissen created the Support Squad with a firm belief in community over competition. Whether you're a new virtual assistant looking for advice on how to get started, or an established virtual assistant looking to expand your skills and invite even more abundance into your career, you're in the right place. Working from home doesn't have to be lonely. We're in this together. Now, here she is, the host of the Support Squad podcast, Sharon Nissen.
Hello. I am so happy to be here with you today. Pricing is a topic that I get so many questions about, so I really hope I can clear some things up for you today. Now, before we launch into pricing, I want to talk to you a little bit about your mindset. Y'all know from last week's episode that mindset is super important. Many VAs tend to really discount their services when they are launching their businesses. They think that big hourly rates or high-priced packages will scare away potential clients. Let's face it, it can be really scary to ask for the rates that you need and you deserve. Here's the thing you have to remember. Clients will hire you because they need you and because you have skills to do things that they can't do or they don't want to do. This makes you extremely valuable. From the very beginning, you need to establish yourself as a professional. Your business will not be sustainable if you set super low rates. You're going to end up having to take on way too many low quality clients, and you won't be able to afford to invest money back into your business. And worst of all, you'll be setting a tone with your clients that you're not worth the rate you deserve. Ask yourself why you're starting this business. Is it because you want to work around the clock? Or is it because you want time and financial freedom? Do you want to work crazy hours for clients that don't respect you? Or do you want to be able to focus your attention on clients that you love? Now is the time to set your standards. You are a boss babe and you should price your services accordingly. Okay, so now that we've got our mindset right, let's dive in. One of the big reasons that getting your pricing right is important is because there are a lot of expenses involved with running a business. Your hourly rate is not your take-home pay. As an independent contractor, you are responsible for all of the things that an employer would usually take care of, including taxes, insurance, sick days, and retirement savings. So how much should you factor in for those things? A good rule of thumb is 25% of your income. I have a formula that will help you calculate exactly how much your hourly rate should be, and I've included it in a free pricing guide in the freebie shop on thesupportsquad.com. Make sure to download that guide because it will have all of the info from today's episode and more, and it's going to be a really good resource for you guys. So let's talk about some other things to consider when choosing an hourly rate. Your niche and skill level definitely factor in. Having a clearly defined niche or skill can raise your value as a virtual assistant. So while a general virtual assistant might charge $30 an hour to manage a Pinterest account, a virtual assistant who specializes in Pinterest could charge $40 to $50 an hour. A client who needs someone who really knows their stuff and can produce fast results will gladly pay a higher rate. Also, make sure you're doing your research about what other VAs in your niche and industry are charging. Take a look at experienced virtual assistants who have been running their business for a couple of years. Check out their websites to see how they're presenting their rates and how they structure their pricing. Then use it for inspiration, but please don't copy and paste word for word. That's just rude. Once you know how much you need to make per hour, you can decide how you want to package or present your services. I'm going to go over 4 different ways that you can structure your pricing and the pros and cons to each of them. So, number 1 is hourly. Now, this pricing structure is great for newbies, for administrative VAs, and customer service VAs. Most new virtual assistants go this route when first offering services to clients. And while charging an hourly rate might seem simple enough, there are some important factors to consider. First of all, you'll need to be diligent about tracking your hours. I love to use Toggl, that's Toggl, to track hours by time and project. Also keep in mind that you're not going to have a guaranteed income each month. When you're charging by hour, a client might not be consistent with how many hours they need you each month. This can also make it difficult to manage your schedule because it could fluctuate. That said, clients tend to like paying their VAs hourly because it's a simple structure to understand and they know that they're getting exactly how many hours of work they're paying for. So number 2 is packages. This is a great structure for social media VAs, email marketing VAs, copywriting VAs, or really any VA that offers services that bundle together well. Make sure that you price each package by estimating how much time it will take you and then multiplying that by your hourly rate that we discussed earlier. Packages tend to be really appealing to clients because they can see exactly what they'll be getting. For example, a social media VA can offer a weekly package that includes 5 Instagram posts, 2 hours of engaging with followers, and 1 custom Instagram story. Or copywriting VAs could offer a package that includes 1 blog post, 1 newsletter, and 3 social media posts. Or a podcast VA could offer a package that includes editing a 1-hour podcast, updating the ID3 tagging, and uploading and scheduling in Libsyn. You can also create different levels of packages, making it easy for clients to upgrade their services as their needs grow. Number 3 is project-based. This structure works well for website developers, Pinterest VAs, project managers, or any virtual assistants that work on projects for clients from start to finish. Sometimes a client's just going to need you for a one-time project. This is especially true for website developers. And there are a few things you should consider when it comes to this kind of structure. First of all, you should know that it is common practice to require payment of 50% of the cost of the project up front. This will protect you in case the client decides to abandon the project after you've already put in working hours. Also, make sure that you're being realistic about how much time it will take you to complete the project and set that price according to your hourly rate. Contracts are very important with this type of structure because you need to be protected if the scope of the project changes. And for large projects, it could be worth consulting with a lawyer to make sure that you're completely covered. Number 4 is retainers, my favorite. This structure is great for any virtual assistants that perform about the same number of hours of work each month for the same clients. So a retainer is when a client pays you upfront for a certain number of hours per month. This is a great way to get a guaranteed monthly income as a freelancer. If you're an executive assistant or online business manager, this is a great option. I work on retainer with my clients, and it gives me and them a sense of peace because we both know exactly how much I'll be making each month. I try to evaluate the retainer about every 6 months to make sure that it's still appropriate for the amount of work I'm doing. And I'll let you know, with most of my clients, I started with an hourly rate and then I went into and renegotiated a retainer after I'd been working them for about 6 months. So that way they got to know me and got to see how many hours it really took me each month to complete everything they needed me to complete. And then we could create a retainer that made sense for both of us. All right, so we've gone over how to determine your hourly rate and the different ways you can package your services. And if you're still stuck on pricing, here's a little tip. If you have a little bit more flexibility in your income, if you haven't defined a specific niche yet, and you just want to get started, $25 an hour is a solid hourly rate to charge. You won't attract the low quality clients who are looking for the lowest bidder, and you won't scare away high quality clients who are hiring a VA for the first time. That's just a little tip. If you're feeling stuck, just charge $25 an hour, and that's pretty standard. So if you have any questions about this week's episode, make sure to download my free pricing guide for virtual assistants in the freebie shop at thesupportsquad.com. It has all of the info from today's episode and more. Also, make sure to join us in the Support Squad Hangout on Facebook. I drop in live every Thursday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to answer questions about the podcast and anything else you're struggling with in your business. Thanks so much for listening, and until next time, Boss Babe.